Kut with Kut Productions.
Jeremy from the Weekly Narrative.
Degree 45.
On the road.
Boom. All right, we got that.
In Reno.
In Reno. We're in Reno.
If you couldn't tell.
We're in Reno.
From the giant sign.
We're going to be on the road in Reno and Sacramento.
That's it.
Every other week.
Yeah.
We're here at the Reno Car Show. I am in a 1914 shitbox lowrider. These were given out like Obama phones back in the day. Sir, do you know what the car of the year was in 1970?
I'm sorry?
Car of the year in 1970.
Challenger.
Fiat 128.
Oh, gosh.
This one here is a 1969 Chevrolet Chevelle Malibu. It's a two-door hardtop. Now, this was bought in 1969 Hallman Chevrolet in Reno, Nevada. It's a 383 stroker engine with 460 horsepower. Degree 45 on the road is sponsored by Nathan's Famous all-beef hot dogs, because fuck vegans. Reno is known for its brothels, divorce rate, marriage rate, prostitution, all in the same day. You can complete all three of these. Also has a big opioid problem, big heroin problem, and they're really cracking down on prostitution here, which I think takes away from the equality that we have been talking about in modern politics. This guy here is driving a 1964 Chevelle. He's got about a 4-cylinder in that. This here is part of Douche Fleet Services. This here is a 1955 Chevy Volkswagen Beetle. These were notorious for breaking down. Back in 1955, they were getting the parts and the steel that made the framing on these from places like communist China and Russia. Now, this was the car back in the 50s and the 60s that Harvey Weinstein would use to lure his clients to the hills of Beverly. Let's all hang out and stare at our phones. That's what I should have did.
Welcome to
Reno, Nevada is in the valley in the Sierra Mountains. It is a small town, but it is also a big town. It is a small city, but it is also a big city. It is actually the biggest shitty little city in the entire nation. It's bordered with Sparks, Nevada, and every time you tell someone that you live in Reno, they ask you how far is Vegas from you.
This historic Starbucks location in downtown Reno has become the refuge of all of the homeless population here due to the recent policy changes by Starbucks, wherein they allow people to come into the store without having to purchase anything. So this particular location has now been overrun by heroin addicts and addicted gamblers.
What are two things that Hannibal Lecter wanted to do to Clarice? What's the worst thing about Reno, Nevada?
It's become kind of gentrified in the last few years. That's the worst thing so far.
What he said.
Gentrified? I know what he's doing there. What about the best thing?
The best thing is it's like big enough to be like a cool spot to live, but not like overwhelmingly big like Las Vegas.
What do you think?
What he said.
So you're gonna say the best thing is the women are really quiet here.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, well, thank you. What's the worst thing about the city?
The worst thing is the black Afro-Americans that come in here from California, like the Bay Area and the San Joaquin latrine. They come in here, they're shit.
What's
And
the best thing about Reno?
It's a beautiful city. Look where it is.
What's the best thing about Reno?
I just love the atmosphere, the things to do. It's the high mountain area. And
No, from New York. What's the worst thing about Reno?
worst thing about it is I think, is the homeless problem.
Oh, okay.
They decided to put the homeless shelter right next to our
Yeah,
cool-ass ballpark, right
Really?
next to our cool, and they picked to put it there.
Right down the road.
What do you guys think of Hillary Clinton?
I think she lied too much.
What do you
I
think of
voted for
Donald
Trump.
Trump?
I voted for him.
I voted for Trump, and I ain't scared to say it.
Be sure to check out Degree 45 podcast with Weekly Narrative. That's just my opinion. And Kut from Kut Productions, Inc. I'm here with Jeremy from Weekly Narrative and Kut from Kut Productions. Fuck.